friends to the show that never ends. This is Red All Over's Away End show, where we look at the opposition that we'll be facing shortly. To achieve this, we'll be talking to fans of the opposition, so I hope you enjoy the show. Finally, cast your mind back. I remember a 4-year-old boy being lifted over the turnstiles to his first match at Oakwell, standing on the Kop watching his heroes such as Barry Murphy. Now fast forward 60 odd years, the Kop is now an all-seater stand, and it's named the Barry Murphy stand after the legend. That 4-year-old boy is now finally, after all these years, back on the away end. Enjoy the show. Roll the titles. Right. Ryan Windle, welcome to the away end. Huddersfield fan extraordinaire. How long have you been supporting Huddersfield, Ryan?
30 years. When I was 13, when the stadium was first opened, 93. So yeah, 30 odd years, 31 years now.
And what's it called currently, Ryan?
John Smith Stadium.
John Smith's.
Alfred McAlpine, John Smith, Kirkley Stadium as well before.
It's a nice, yeah. It's a nice ground. It's a nice looking ground. Innovative.
Oh, they've done a lot of work to it as well.
Yeah.
Painted it and murals outside and stuff, and the inside's been done as well, like the changing rooms all modernised and everything.
Lovely. Lovely. Right. Pretty near the start of the season, things are just starting a little bit to settle down. We get into the sort of 10, 12 game start to the season where things start to settle down and we start getting to have some idea of where teams are going to be. Although, you know, sometimes there's a false position where if you play all the top sides, it's a bit more topsy-turvy than if you don't. Have you had any changes or many changes during this this summer, you know, from last season into this, coming down last season and then having to reset for this season?
Absolutely. We've bought a few in, sold a few. Sober Thomas has gone on loan in France. He's still under contract, but I think League One was a bit too low for him, so he's got to move out of there. And then recruitment-wise, obviously, we've got your old manager in the summer, Duff. And then we've got some players in there, like Herbie Kane from Barnsley, who's only started one, actually. We've also bought Anthony Evans from Bristol Rovers, midfielder.
Yeah.
Jonathan Hogg got another year's extension on that. We signed a Mikael Miller, who's played for Rotherham, left wing back. Another big one was Lassie Sorensen, the right-hand side wing back, who signed from Lincoln. A lot of talk about him being a really good player.
Excellent.
Going forward, he is, but defensively, recently, he's been a bit. And obviously, as you know, Duff likes to play three at the back. So they're the two signings he's made as wing backs. We've got a couple on the left. Headley's the first reserve, and on the right, Spencer can play there as well. So there are options there, but you know, you can't play wing backs week in, week out. You have to change it up. There's injuries and stuff. We've had a few injuries as well. Also signings. I mean, we had some signings from last January. Radimir Balka, who's only played a handful of games because he's just injuries all the time. Bojan Radulovic, he didn't have a pre-season because he was injured. He started last night. So, and then Reece Healy, who was a good goal scorer for Watford, we got for £1 million last January. He's injured. So, recruitment-wise, injuries. Yeah.
I'm assuming then that Michael's playing the formation he used to play at Oakwell with, whichever way you look at it, 3 at the back or 5 at the back with wing backs, 3 midfield, 2 up front. That's what he knows best and what he tries to get his teams to play as far as what he did before at Cheltenham and then us and Swansea and what have you. So he did well for Cheltenham. He did well for us. Failed at the last hurdle, but did well for us. And you know, he pulled us out of the doldrums. To be honest, when we got relegated from the Championship a couple of years ago, he pulled us up by our bootstraps. So I'm, you know, really grateful for that. Irrespective of the fact that you know, said he were going to be in it. His words, the long haul, and then wasn't. Which upset a few people because a lot of Barnsley fans because they bought into his, into his style and his manner. Not so good at Swansea. They didn't seem to want to have his style of football at Swansea. How's he doing with yourselves?
It started off all right. In this, first game, me, Jack, and Tommy went over to Peterborough. It's not far from here, and we
Yeah,
won 2-0. Evans and Wiles with the goals, and it was a good day out. His second half, we were dominated. We looked like a championship team. Then we had a couple of home games, won again, Stevenage against Shrewsbury, both by a single goal. I think Stevenage missed a couple of really good chances there. So suddenly we've won our first three games. Then we go to Rotherham before the international break and didn't play overly great. Danny Ward got sent off an elbow, which should have been a sending off. Then we've gone and scored. Joe Rogers come on, who we signed on loan from Wolves in the summer, or just before the end of August, and we took the lead. But then Lassie Sorensen gave away a penalty, and then that Marley Wilkes cut in on the left hand side and smashed it in for 2-1 late winner, their first win of the season. So one of those games where you don't play well. It's a local derby. You try and get a point, So that knocked us a bit.
yeah.
Then after the international break, played Bolton,
Ooh,
won 4-0.
yeah.
I was there for that one as well.
Good game.
Yeah, it was a good game. We pressed high up. Yeah, Josh Groma scored first, and then we got a penalty, which is unlike us. And then that made it 2-0. And then there was another goal. Evans, Wild scored again. Then the Bolton keeper decided to pass it straight. One of those pressing ones where we keep pressing
Yeah,
and pressing and pressing, and the keeper passes it straight to Evans, and he stroked it in for 4-0. And after that game, I'm thinking, is their manager going to go? Is it time? We're looking at the
yeah.
newspapers or whatever, thinking, is he gone? Is he gone? And he didn't. And they've turned it around since. And since that game, we've lost everyone.
What a
So,
funny game football is. Like you say, you absolutely paced Bolton Wanderers, and then Bolton turned the season round and have started to play like we expected them to play. And you can't be much higher than winning all the games you've won, including beating them at their ground as well, at the Tough Sheet Stadium. And then
yeah.
it's the one win you've lost the other five, haven't you? After the last six games.
Yeah. Lost at home to Northampton. Hellick scored an own goal straight into his net. So,
Aye.
what Bolton were doing at the defensively side of it, just passing it out from the back. Don't know why we copied them. And I think there's something going wrong at home. I don't know if it's the pressure or teams are sitting off us and they're saying, right, your turn to play. You've got to come on to us, and we don't look threatening. Um, and then we played Blackpool, Steve Bruce. He had a couple of wins under his belt. They beat us 2-0. Hellick went off with an injury. He's out for a couple of months.
Good news for us.
And
Don't wish it on
yeah,
Michael Hellick. Like like Michael Hellick. Always liked Michael Hellick
he's
since
a good, strong player. For
years.
this level, he's more than capable at this level. He's the middle of the back three, So now we've got to change it around. Then we played Reading last weekend. Took the lead again. Matty Pearson back in the team. That's his first start of the season. He scored from a set piece. He's dangerous from set pieces.
Yeah.
But then we gave the ball away against Hockley and they've equalised and eventually gone on to win. So, and then talk about last night when me and Tommy went to Birmingham and did all right. Could have scored after 30 seconds. Mikael Miller at the back post smashed it wide. We had a set piece and we had a few chances. But we did all right first half. They had chances, you know. All these songs about Stansfield and May wasting money. One of them's going to score eventually.
Yeah.
Alfie May was in the door at Huddersfield. Knew Duff from his time at Cheltenham.
That's right.
But Birmingham picked up the phone and said, "Do you want 4 times the wages that we're offering?" So he went. And who pops up to score on the hour? Alfie May. So they deserved it. Good luck to them. 5 points clear now with the game in hand. So, but performance-wise, yeah, nothing to write down. But I think they were tired second half. I don't know what to say about it. We don't look anything.
Yeah.
No confidence. just really lacking at the minute, and we're down in 15th. So we've got one more game now against you on Saturday, and then it's the international break where he's really got to get on the training ground.
Yeah, yeah. We were supposed to on that weekend. We were supposed to be playing. In a fortnight, we're supposed to be playing Reading at home, which been called. That's been called off because of the international break.
Yeah, we were playing Leighton Orient away.
So, isn't it funny that even the international breaks that you thought would only affect Premiership teams and Championship teams is now incredibly affecting so many League One teams. International breaks. It's
All
shows you
these, it's all these televised matches as well. Plan the season when the fixtures come out because I'm a shift worker. I'm thinking, oh, I can go to that game. It's at 3 o'clock. I'm on nights. I can be
yeah.
back for that because Peterborough. No, that was ended up being our first game. What's all that about? Rotherham 12:30. Reading 12:30. Saturday 12:30.
Not good. Not good. Sky, messing about with it all over the place. I had the same thing last weekend. I was going out for a long weekend. We're going to on the Saturday night. We're going to the Black Country Living Museum. People have got me tickets for my birthday. My friends Martin and Joe to a Peaky Blinders evening. And I thought, well, that's all right.
All right.
I'll not be able to see us play Stockport, but it'll be somewhere like that. It'll be on telly, somewhere like that, so I can watch it there. No, they changed it to an evening match. So I'm trying to have as we fighting with gangsters and argue it toss with Peaky Blinders. And a quick look at my phone to see we've got, and I thought we'd won because when I last looked, there weren't long left, only a few minutes left, and we're winning 1-0. I'm thinking, thank God for that. And no, didn't work out. And again, last night, same
It weren't a
thing.
bad game, that was that.
I thought we were all right. A lot of people said that we were
Stockport aren't a bad
awful.
side, are they?
I think they're all. I think they're going to do all right. I think they're pretty. I think it's a pretty strong
Louis
league,
Barry's
Ryan. To
a
be
good little
honest,
player, isn't
yeah, I think it's a pretty strong league this season.
he? Yeah,
So your season's up and down. Then you're sounding like you're feeling buoyant, and then no, not so much.
yeah.
No, dear me.
What we can do, we can't panic. You got to give Duff. I mean, what's the point in going through all these managers? We've had 13 managers in 10 seasons. With four last year. You know,
Your Barnsley in
you
disguise.
can't keep going through managers. It's not the manager. Give him time. Give him some. Give him January. Give him next summer. There's a few players in our team that are out of contract.
Yeah,
There'll be a lot of spaces for next season squad and from January onwards.
yeah.
But we should be getting up there. We should be in the top six, and we're 15th at the minute.
You don't.
So
It's
it's
still
added
early on,
pressure.
though. Still early on.
Yeah,
It only
the
takes a couple
points are
of wins
still there
again.
to be played, aren't they? Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah,
you're
it's
right.
only what is it about 9 games, something like that so far. 8 games for some teams, nine for us too. You can't really tell me much about Herbie Kane. Then I was going to ask you how Herbie were getting on, but if he's only played one game, it makes
Yeah,
it a
he's
bit difficult to assess it.
started the season on the bench, got an injury, calf injury. Played against that game at Northampton at home. I think he was at fault for the second goal. And he hasn't been in the squad since. I don't know if he'd have fallen out or he's injured again, but
Yeah,
yeah, it's a shame.
he played well
Um,
under Michael at Oakwell. Played well, and I've always liked. And again, I was going to ask you the same thing, but it's a bit difficult. I want to ask you about Matty Pearson, but if he's only just started playing with Michael Hellick being injured. Um,
yeah,
It's difficult to
it'll
that.
be yeah, it'll be
Well,
Pearson on Saturday, I think, at the back on the right hand side. He's no nonsense. He gets stuck in. He can
yeah,
clear it from set pieces. He's a
yeah,
danger at the other end. He's not the fastest, but in League One, Matty Pearson, yeah, he's all right. You've got Tom Lees in the middle now,
yeah,
and
yeah.
we've got Michael Londwick on the left. Well, actually, Bodie Spencer played there yesterday on the left hand side. But Lee Nichols is injured as well, our goalkeeper, which is probably one of the better goalkeepers in the league. He's out for another 12 weeks. So it's all injuries and everything now at the minute. So we've got our third choice keeper in young Jacob Chapman in at the minute.
How are the fans, as far as you know, are the fans feeling in general? Are they feeling quite still hopeful, or are they getting a bit fed up with it all?
They're coming out of the ground last night. It was a bit, yeah, we're in trouble. It's just a bit. We don't look threatening, Andy. There's no
Yeah,
like in front of goal. We've got Josh Caroma, who's done all right. He's not a
yeah,
striker. He was a winger, and he obviously Duff doesn't play with wingers. So
yeah,
he's
yeah,
got
yeah.
Caroma up front with Bojan Radulovic, who's first start or second, yeah, first start of the season. He looks a bit lightweight. No pace up front. We've got Freddie Ladapo in, free agent, bit of a panic buy because we're meant to get Joe Taylor in from Luton on loan, but it never materialised. So they panicked and got Freddie Ladapo in, who's nothing really. He doesn't jump for the ball. He's 6'3" and he doesn't jump for the ball or head it or look anything really. So
You've no
it's
idea how much
worrying, worrying.
no idea how much you're cheering me up because I was asked by Football League World, who would you want? This is like a day, a day before the end of the window, and I was saying Freddie. I don't know of anybody else. It's good. Joe Taylor, yeah, but he's going elsewhere. He's going. Joe Taylor's going to Huddersfield. So Freddie, I remember, he's not done so well where he's been, at Charlton, but he did all right at Rotherham, and we didn't. He went to you, and I'm glad we didn't get him. There's stuff about attitude and what have you. So you've cheered me up no end because I was trying to sell him, saying, yeah, let's get. We need a striker. In the end, we got Humphreys,
Humphries,
who I'm
yeah.
chuffed with. I am chuffed with him. Wherever whether he plays up front or wide. He's not had a pre-season, but he's going to start coming. He's starting to come good and get fitter and get fitter in general, but match fit as well. So, what about this? Well, I'm going to say this. We'll talk about this coming Saturday because it's also next Tuesday as well. It's just like London buses. Games against away to Huddersfield don't just come up once; they come up twice in a row. So, what?
Why don't
Looking
they
forward to
just
this
play
Saturday.
first?
Yeah,
Why don't they just play 12:30 league game and then put the youngsters in these reserve play? All come in a big bus, right? Have the first game first at 12:30, the league game, and then at 3 o'clock just play this cup game. It saves all that transport again on Tuesday night, doesn't it?
it does. It might even get a few more a few more people. I can't say I'm Bristol Street Motors competition. It isn't my favourite competition. My colleague on Red All Over, Josh, used to love it when we were the Papa John's because you could get half price pizzas during the game, and he loved that. But I think they spoiled it personally, and I'm not going about it. I think they spoiled it when they started to let under 21s teams come in to try and support the England team. I think it's not about the England team. This is about the lower clubs being able to get to Wembley. It shouldn't be out to do with anybody from the Championship or the Premiership. But so I ain't bothered. I ain't bothered about. I don't want us to lose on Tuesday, but I'm not bothered either. Um, so are you looking forward to
It's a
Saturday?
chance for the youngsters, and
Ah, how are you
I'm not
feeling
looking
about
forward
Saturday?
to it. Yeah, you've got to try and you be up for every match, haven't you? On the telly, Yorkshire Derby. I think we'll be up for it first half an hour again, like we did last night. Got to come out and we've got to show some fight, got to show some fight. Um, but if it goes the other way, there'll be, yeah, the crowd will be on his back and there'll be 5 losses in a row. But I'm hopefully getting something. I'm hopefully getting something.
Okay, okay. Right. You know, you know very well that we've got two young lads that's part of our show called George and Isaac, who think that Tom Webster's sons, George and Isaac Webster, they think that they're going to take over from me and Alan. They call themselves Little Al and Andy. Well, Little Al is George and Little Andy's Isaac. So, as happens in these, they're not going to take over because we ain't going anywhere. They think they are. Well, they're only
No,
11. They're just 11. So, they've got a bit of time yet. Unlike us, like me and Alan, they've got a bit more time than me and Alan. So they're going to come on and they're going to ask you a couple of searching questions because it's what they're like. They're 11, they ain't got any filters. So, so I'm going to put them on now. They've got a few questions they want to ask you. So I'm going to put them on now and they're going to ask you the first question.
Who's your tumble down, Ted? The one that's going down in the box like he's been shot by a sniper.
ooh, it's got to have to be Freddie Ladapo, I was going to say, because he can't do anything else. He might as well go down in box. But that won't be interesting because he won't be starting on Saturday anyway. I've got every money on that anyway, so it might be him. Oh, actually, Matty Pearson, like he did in that
Like
FA
he
Cup
did,
game
yeah.
the other year.
That's what I was going to say. Be flipping Matty Pearson, repeating it again, straight in front of me, straight in,
Right.
a guy that I like, straight in front of me. He flopped down, big strong lad, flopped down like he'd been shot. Anyway, I'm all right now. I'm
Yeah,
all right.
we'll go with him. We'll go with one of them two.
Well, we always used to say it's always possible if he gets on the pitch. It's always possible that it's Herbie Kane because he likes to go down with
Isn't it?
splayed legs, flopping down like
He
he.
won't be on the pitch.
Well, hopefully not. So that's the first question. Then they've got another one. Well, they've got another three. The next
Three.
one, yeah, they're gonna ask you a second one. So yet again, you'll get fed up with it. Yet again, I'm gonna put them on to ask their second question.
Why don't you support a good team? Yeah, like Liverpool or Manchester City. Or best of all, Barnsley.
Oh, I think I like all the trials and tribulations of being a Huddersfield Town fan, all the ups and downs. God, it wouldn't be great if you're winning all the time, like Manchester City all the time. Do you know what I mean? It's boring.
Oh, Barnsley. How did you get to
Uh,
support it? No, you've told me before. How did you get to support him?
I don't know really. My dad, like you say, my dad used to take me to Hillsborough, didn't he, when I was
Yeah,
young.
yeah.
But I didn't want to support them. I supported a proper team, blue and white, from West Yorkshire. So you'd have to drive me a bit further.
You didn't have to change shirt, did you?
No, Tesco's carrier bag.
Yeah, yeah. You said it before. I could. Right, that's a good one. I'm going to get them on to ask you another question. God, they don't have. They make it pay. They are trying to take over. So I'm going to put them on now for their third question.
What is the one game that you would like to relive again?
There's a few. There's a few playoff finals that I'd like to relive. Um,
Yeah, all right, a few.
yeah, never seen Huddersfield score in a playoff final yet. I've seen him get promoted 3 times. Work that one out. Just it was all 0-0. Yeah, it's
Exciting
got to
then.
be. It's got to be Reading at Wembley to get into the Premier League. It's a moment in time, isn't it?
Yeah.
Unbelievable to and Schindler scored that penalty. It goes in the back of the net. Thinking you're in the Premier League, it's just yeah, dreams are made of. Maybe one day one of my kids will have that same experience. You never know. You never know.
Don't get carried away.
Might be waiting another 30 years, but it's nice when it happens, isn't it? Like you know.
I certainly do. I certainly do. Right, I'll put them on for their final question because I'm fed up with them now. I've had enough of them
Another
now.
one.
Yeah, just one more. They've got a whole battery of them, and they can get lost. Enough's enough. Enough's enough. Just this last one, then. So I'll put them on for this last one, and then they can. It's past their bedtime anyway. So here they are.
Who is the best player that you have ever seen play for your club?
It's got to be my favourite player because I was that age where I had a season ticket. I was 17 at the time. Is a striker that you know about called Marcus Stewart. He
Yeah,
was just brilliant player. And in and around the penalty box, I'd be up before everyone else because I knew he was going in the back of the net. Composure, skill, brilliant player. And he went on to the Premier League and scored for goals and went in Europe for Ipswich and did ever so well. Unfortunately, he's got diagnosed with MND now, so there's a lot of work on that with his illness. A lot of charity work going on. I think when we played Ipswich last season or season before, there was a walk. And his team, Julian Darby, he was also diagnosed the same.
yeah.
There's a lot of work going into that as well. So all the best to him. But yeah, my best player, favorite player.
It's a dreadful, dreadful disease. We've had a friend that, well, ultimately died through that. Awful, awful. So, what people might not have realised, because people are just looking at mine and your handsome faces, that surrounding it, instead of the normal red all over, it's pink all over. And that's because this Saturday's match, Huddersfield versus Barnsley, as in aid of a charity, breast cancer charity. So if anybody, that's why we pink. So Come out in pink, get your pink shirts on. Although it has to be said, Ryan, we've been rubbish. We've played in pink once when we played at Stevenage, and we were awful. And I think most people wanted to burn the pink shirts. So I'm hoping, from my point of view, that they can put it right this Saturday, wearing pink and wearing it proudly. Smithy will be wearing his proudly. I won't, because I've not bought one. He's gone from its best thing since sliced bread to I'm never wearing that again to he'll be there with it on Saturday for breast cancer awareness. So, breast cancer charity. So think of that. We've also got, what you won't know, we've also got Tom Webster, dad of the little uns. He also managed to get a pink shirt that read all over purchased to raffle off, and we got all the first team at Barnsley to sign it. £5 a sharp. So if anybody puts a comment on, Tom can get back in touch with you. Whoever puts comments on this show to chuck the name in the hat for the raffle. So it's all in. Just think of that. It's all in a good cause.
Good cause, yeah, absolutely.
It certainly is, and we try as a community group, Red Oliver. We try our hardest to support things as best we can. So. That's coming up. So finally, Ryan, after all that blather, finally, it's coming down to the final conflict, the final showdown. West Yorkshire against South Yorkshire. A Yorkshire derby. Huddersfield Town versus Barnsley FC. What's the score going to be, Ryan?
Oh, I'm going for a good game of football. It's going to be...
No. Yeah, go on. Yeah.
I'm going to go for 2-2.
A Desmond. Wow. Flipping it. Well, I were going to bully you a bit, Ryan, and say that we're going to win 2-1 or 3-1. I've actually, for the first time this season, I've actually predicted that we're going to lose 2-1. So I've had two, but it's mainly like that psychological pink shirt, going to lose 2-1, which in my head, my old fuddled head, means that we're going to win 2-1, not lose 2-1. And I won't care. I won't care if I've got the prediction wrong. I hope to God I've got it completely wrong. So we'll see, Rye. We'll see, won't we? 2-2, 2-1. Oh, dear. It's all there for the taking. There's been a
Let's
lot.
just hope it's a good game. Let the best team win. No silly decisions or anything. It's a good game of football.
With Matty Pearson, for example. Although I will say this: I've enjoyed, whenever I've come to Huddersfield, I've enjoyed it. I didn't enjoy that FA Cup match. I enjoyed it when we came and got to the playoff final by beating you at your ground after you'd beaten us.
Yeah.
I particularly remember what I would call the non-relegation season for us, when we played that game right at the end. And if we were winning, you could go down. You were winning, we were going to go down. In the end, Peterborough went down. Neither of us went down from a late goal. And I have never seen any group of fans celebrate together with such togetherness at that 2-2, all fans together. They didn't need a line of police to keep fans apart. They could quite easily.
That's good.
Mingle. It was a wonderful time. So for that, I'll always remember that, and remember Huddersfield fondly. That might change in the next week. If we've lost twice, it might well change. If we've won twice next week, then I still remember it fondly. Ryan, it's, as always, my friend, it's a pleasure to talk to you. Thank you for giving up your time and coming on the show.
No problem.
I really appreciate it, mate.
Take care.
Cheers, Ryan.
Finally, as Kenneth Wolstenholme said in 1966, there are some people on the pitch, they think it's red all over. It is now.